Dulles Airport is the largest airport in the DC region, with flights to places both domestic and international. Despite that, the DC Metro didn't operate any services to there for years before an extension finally came. That extension not only expanded the system, the Silver Line to be specific, to Washington Dulles International, but it also brought services to Tysons Corner and more of Loudoun County. Let's talk about it. To start our story, let's go to the very beginning. In 1976, the first portion of what we now know as the DC Metro Red Line opened to passengers. The system would grow over the next few years, hitting Arlington in 1977, Prince George's County in 78, and Fairfax and Alexandria in 83. The system continued to grow, sprawling out to serve the growing DMV region, with ridership steadily increasing with it. However, the link to Dulles was still missing. Back in the 1960s, when the feds ran Dulles Airport before making the MWAA, basically the governing body of DC airports, they constructed and opened the Dulles Toll Road. The goal was to directly connect the airport with the city itself via Virginia Route 267. As the plans were being drawn up and the first concrete was laid, the powers that be wanted the median of the road to remain clear for a potential rail system. Mind you, this was back when rail travel was considered old and outdated. When the original plan for Metro Rail in DC was released in 1968, a planned extension to Dulles was included with a 1971 study saying it would draw 30,000 daily riders. Virginia Senator William Sprong Jr. tried and failed to get the Dulles line to be an early addition rather than a later extension. But patience wasn't easy to come by for the extension, as in the 80s, two senators pushed for a metro extension to Dulles, with a $500,000 grant given out to study the feasibility of the proposed extension. Surprise, it's the 90s now, more specifically 1995. The Bulls are really good, and Gangsta's Paradise was the #1 single of the year, and at the same time, the Virginia General Assembly authorized the Commonwealth Transportation Board, or CTB, to provide for, quote, additional improvements to the Dulles Toll Road and Access Road corridor, including, but not limited to, mass transit, including rail and capacity enhancing treatments from surplus net revenues of the Dulles Toll Road, which basically means we'll look into transport, but no guarantees. Later that year, a group of state officials proposed an extension of the Orange Line through Tysons and rested in Loudoun County, terminating at Dulles, with the Loudoun County government even considering it, setting aside space for a rail yard. It's still the 90s, and some more proposals for transit on the corner have come up. And I want you to guess who proposed them. You won't. You won't guess. You won't guess who proposed them. Go on. You got your guess? Yeah, unless you said Raytheon,
Hey,
you'd
look,
be
a
wrong.
civilian airliner.
Yeah, Raytheon.
Do it. You know you want to do
the military.
it. Lock it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Engineers from Raytheon proposed a bus rapid transit or BRT system running along the median in 1998. And in 1999, the Tysons Dulles group was like, I don't think so. And proposed a competing BRT which would extend the line to Ashburn. These attempts prompted VDOT to seriously explore heavy transit to Dulles, even though it seemed like they'd done that every 5 years or so, but whatever.
Alright, listen up. This Dulles Transport project thing is way out of hand. There's been zero progress in the past 30 years since the Washington Metro opened. We need to be a reliable transport network that can connect the heart of the capital to the international gateway of the region.
How about instead of yapping about it and not getting anywhere, how about we just do it?
I like that idea.
This time, unlike attempt 158, they're actually planning for an extension now. In the early 2000s, planning and scoping out of the Dulles Rapid Transit began. Although pushes for BRT and other forms they were there, but rail was the obvious winner. In 2004, the project finally received formal approval and began to move forward. But this is a transit project in America, so there's going to be some problems. Now, one of the main topics of debate across the community of Tysons and the project board itself was how to run the line through Tysons. Local communities and several advocacy groups heavily supported building a tunnel that would go under Tysons, as they believed the bridge would tear the community apart and be an eyesore. This all escalated when Tysons Tunnel, along with several other groups, filed a lawsuit against USDOT and the FTA. However, that didn't go well for them, and by 2010, Tysons Tunnel was out of operation. While there is a short section of tunnel to burrow through a ridge in Tysons today, most of it is above ground. By 2014, the first phase of the Silver Line began operations.
The long-awaited expansion of the Washington, D.C. Metro Rail system came into the Reston Station Saturday. The expansion adds more than 11 miles to the Metro system, extending trains deeper into the Virginia suburbs and connecting the Tysons Corner office and shopping district to downtown Washington.
Oh, it's a game changer. People are going to be able to get to work faster. There's a lot of jobs in Tysons Corner. And also a lot of companies are here in Reston.
Great that this line is started. We'd love to see it. We would have loved seeing it much sooner, but we'll take it today too.
Now you're probably looking at this being like, oh, that's cool, but why did it take another 8 years for an 11.5 mile stretch to open? Well, there's basically the perfect storm of annoying shit. So first off, Phase 2 obviously began construction in 2014. They targeted a 2018 opening, so 4 years. But literally immediately, it ran into structural roadblocks. First, the concrete crisis. Subcontractors used flawed concrete mixes, leading to thousands of defective panels and cracked ties. Obviously, you can't have bridges that don't work when you're transporting hundreds of thousands of people. Crews had to spend months testing, sealing, and replacing the compromised structures, ensuring the tracks wouldn't warp or fail. Okay, well, I mean, that shouldn't be too bad. Maybe around 2019 to 2020, it can open. Oh wait, the ballast doesn't work either. The ballast was built outside of the alignment from supporting the tracks. Fixing this required lifting up the tracks and manually adjusting the stone beds. Great. Just great. Soon after, track inspections revealed the rails themselves were physically changing size and shifting due to improper installation, causing a serious derailment risk. Okay, well, that's pretty bad, but hey, maybe around 2021 we can open? Oh wait, the tech doesn't work either? God, you gotta be kidding me. So the automated train control system, ATC, suffered major software bugs. At the time, miles of electrical wiring inside the new rail yard failed safety checks and had to be completely repulled. And in addition to that, obviously COVID-19 disruptions and months of rigorous safety testing and bureaucratic shit. And between the airport authority and WMATA, and finally, in 2022, it opened. It cost billions of dollars and nearly a decade of patience, but we can finally take the train to Dulles. Oh wait, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? What do you mean it can't open because of safety issues?
And you can see the gleaming new metro stations, finished and ready for travelers. The station at the airport is done too, but eerily quiet and empty.
My patience is gone. The riding public's patience is gone.
Both of Virginia's U.S. senators now furious that a squabble between Metro and the Safety Commission that oversees it could keep the nearly $7 billion Silver Line to Dulles from opening in time for busy Thanksgiving travel.
We shouldn't be here weeks before this system was due to open after delay after delay after delay. And have these two competing bureaucracies in a pissing match.
"60 years in the making."
Has it taken too long? Sure it has. Has it cost too much? Sure it has. But it's the right thing to do, and here we are.
Washington's subway system is finally arriving at the big international airport when it opened in 1962, starting with extra wide medians in the road to Dulles, leaving room for tracks. The airport station would go right to the terminal, not across the parking lot giving you a view of the terminal. But the trains ended up here to save money.
We built it to last at least a century, and it will.
That means lots of long walks ahead through this tunnel, up escalators, down a hallway, up the ramp, and more escalators to get inside the sweeping line. Travelers are starting this extension of the Silver connects Dulles